सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ। समदुःखसुखं समदुःखसुखं धीरम् सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ। समदुःखसुखं धीरम् सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। पाठ करिए अभिषेक जी इसी का श्लोक का, जैसे हम किए उसी तरह से हम आपके पीछे रिपीट करेंगे। यम ही न व्यथयन्ते ते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ। सम दुःख सुखम धीरम सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। सोमृतत्वाय, तत्वाय नहीं है, सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। भव्य आप पढ़ो। यम ही न व्यथयन्ते ते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ। सम दुःख सुखम धीरम सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। लवलिन जी आप पढ़िए इसको, श्लोक को। यम पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ। सम दुःख सुखम धीरम सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। सोमृत त्वाय कल्पते, मृत पढ़िए उसको, सोमृत त्वाय कल्पते। नहीं तो वहां अटक जाएंगे, मृत त को पूरा नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो वो अटक जाएंगे। तो ठीक है, मैं वर्ड टू वर्ड मीनिंग पढ़ता हूँ फिर ट्रांसलेशन फिर प्रॉपर। यम, one to whom he certainly na never व्यथयन्ति are distressing एते all these पुरुषम to a person पुरुषा ऋषभ O best among men sama unaltered dukha in distress sukham and happiness धीरम Patient. सह ही अमृतत्वाय for liberation. Kalpate is considered eligible. Translation: O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress, and is steady in both, is certainly eligible for liberation. Purport: anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaughts of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. In the Varnashram institution, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order, sannyasa, is a painstaking situation. But one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. The difficulties usually arise from having to sever family relationships, to give up the connection of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. Similarly, in Arjuna's discharge of duties as a Kshatriya, he is advised to persevere, even if it is difficult to fight with his family members to similarly beloved persons. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the stage of 24, and his dependents, young wife as well as old mother, had no one else to look after them. Yet, for a higher cause, he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of higher duties. That is the way of achieving liberation from material bondage. लवलिन जी आप ट्रांसलेशन और पर्पट आप एक बार रीडिंग करिए। हाँ हाँ। आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
नेट का प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है कोई?
हरे कृष्णा। हरे कृष्णा लवलीन जी। हम्म हम्म हम्म। आवाज आ रही है आप लोगों को? आप पढ़िए अभिषेक जी। परपट पढ़िए परपट। हम्म
कोई रिकॉर्डिंग में लगाया है ना? रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है ना?
हम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमामि विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे श्रीवैष्णवदेवताय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So in this verse, we are seeing that Krishna is giving us some dangling carrot to move on. Generally, people, materialistic mind or our mind has the nature to do something when something is there to achieve at the end. Otherwise, the human mind or human psychology is such that it doesn't feel inspired to do something without getting some result at the end. So Krishna is giving us the dangling carrot of Amrita. Amrita means liberation from material bondage. Generally, in a spiritual life, the highest goal for a devotee or a pure devotee is that he just does his activities for the pleasure of his Guru and Krishna. That is the spiritual platform, that is the highest platform. But immediately, the mind or the material mind is not ready to function at that platform. That's why Krishna is, for the first time in the Gita, is giving the giving a dangling carrot for us to move on or to perform our duties. Yam hina vyathayanti ete. Hare Krishna. अच्छा वीडियो ऑफ कर लो. ओके. अच्छा अच्छा. ठीक है. ठीक है. यम ही न व्यथयन्ति एते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ सम दुःख सुखम धीरम सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते. So in the last verse, Krishna was talking about, or he was instructing Arjuna, and he is instructing us also to tolerate the onslaughts of happiness and distress and pains and pleasures. So in the same flow, this verse is coming. When we are able to tolerate the pains and pleasures or happiness and distress of this material life while performing our duties, we become eligible for liberation. Liberation, what does it mean by liberation? We can discuss a little bit on this point. Amrita Tvaya Kalpate. Eligible for liberation. Liberation means becoming free from the cycle of birth and death, and achieving the spiritual body and achieving the spiritual abode of Krishna. That is the meaning of liberation. That is the highest meaning. And one another meaning is also liberation means becoming free from the demands of the mind or the bondage of the mind. Everyone is working under the instruction of the mind. That is called material life. And when we put ourselves under the instruction of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, that is called a spiritual life. When we start a spiritual life, our past sanskaras pull us to again live the material life. So that is the struggle the spiritualist or a spiritual practitioner has to go through. So here the same thing Krishna is talking about. Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. He is giving the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the sannyas at the age of 24. That is the very young age. At that time, he had a wife and he had old mother who will take care of them. But still, for higher cause, for spreading the Krishna consciousness, he accepted the sannyas and tolerated the pains and problems which come in the life of a sannyasi. So similarly, we should practice this path of spirituality or the path of Krishna consciousness and go through the pains or problems that come while performing the spiritual duties. Here also Arjuna doesn't want to fight with his relatives and beloved ones, but Krishna is inspiring him to fight, even if he is feeling pain, to fight with his family members and beloved ones. But Krishna is inspiring him to fight and
keep on doing spiritual duty, so that at the end he will be blissful. In both cases, he will be blissful. If he loses the battle, he will go to the he if he loses the battle and he dies in the battle, he will go to the heaven. And if he wins the battle, he will enjoy the kingdom or the rule on the planet. And at the end of the life, he will go to the heaven. So in both cases, he has some benefit to achieve. So Krishna is inspiring him to fight even if pain is there. And for us also, this lesson has to be learned, that we have to become patient or dhira. We have to be equal in sukha and dukkha. Sama means equal. Dukkha and sukha. We have to be equal in sukha and dukkha, and thus we become patient. And a person, a sadhaka or a spiritual practitioner, one who does his duty patiently, at the end of his life, he will achieve the liberation from the bondage of material life, from the cycle of birth and death, or he will achieve the abode of the Lord, Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan. Prabhupada is talking about the fourth order, renounced order. And that's why he gave the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the topmost example of sannyas order. No one can be a greater sannyasi like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No can be a greater sannyasi than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in sannyas order. So Prabhupada gave his example, topmost example. Prabhupada talks about the family relationships. The difficulties usually arise from having to sever family relationships to give up the connection of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. Why the sannyas order is having so much difficulties? Because there is no family relationships on the basis of blood or body. On sannyas life means he can strike the relationship on the spiritual platform, thinking that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna, so I have to help him, or I have to strike a relationship with this person who has come to me. So a sannyasi preaches to the people, and he sees the whole earthly planet as his abode, as his home. And every person moving on this planet earth is the family of Krishna, and in this way he sees it as his family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva. Vasudha means the planet earth. Eva matlab certainly. So this planet earth becomes his home, and every person is his family members in relationship with the Lord. So that is the life of a sannyasi. So we have to give to ourselves, to our mind also, some dangling carrot. Dangling carrot, I'm using this word because generally uh, an ass, in front of an ass, a dangling carrot is moving, then that ass is moving with the heavy load on his back. That is the materialistic life. If a person is not having as the achievement, is not going to achieve something in terms of matter or money, the person will not be able to not be not he the person will not feel inspired to do the work. So the dangling carrot word is used for the asses. So the materialistic mind is like an ass. That's why this word is used many times for materialistic way of life. Amrita. Amrita has two meanings. One is called liberation, and another is called there will be no death for the person. Everyone is fearful in this material life of death. No one wants to die. That's why the medical science is uh, discovering many varieties of different varieties of medicines to prolong the duration of life. What is the motivation behind that? No one wants to die, because dying is not the nature of the soul. The nature of the soul is to be eternal. But we are going through the life of death. We are all fearful of death at the end of life, or not at the end of life, any moment, because death can happen at any moment in our life. So we all are fearful of dying. But we know theoretically that the soul doesn't die, but still we are feeling fearful. So becoming liberated from this fear of death is also called Amrita. So one meaning is liberation from the cycle of birth and death. No, there will be no material bodies we will be getting in the future. And another is freedom from this feeling of fear of death. So two meanings can be taken out from this word Amrita. So if we and Krishna is there, always situated on that platform. He is not. अभी ठीक है? Krishna is Amrita. Amrita means he never dies. He has the spiritual body. He is always in a spiritual body. He never goes through the pain of dying. So we are part and parcel of the Lord. So we are also supposed to be living that kind of life. But unfortunately, we rebelled against the Lord and desired to enjoy the matter. That's why we are in the material world, and we are going through a lot of pains and fears in this material life. So when we take to path of Krishna consciousness, when we start surrendering to the Lord by the process of Krishna consciousness, by chanting, hearing, reading, etc., doing different kinds of services for the Lord, then gradually the relationship which 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 we gave up starts establishing again, and that leads to Amrita. Amrita stays, liberation from the death, fear of death. So we should try every day please the Lord by chanting His names on the mala, on the beads, and we should study His Bhagavad Gita and different kinds of services at the home also we can offer in the form of DTs or photos. offering food to the offering food stuff to the Lord and honoring the prasad. These kind of services we can do every day, and thus we should spiritualize our consciousness, and we should free ourselves from the fear of death by the blessings of the Lord. That's what I was thinking to share on this verse. Anyone has some comment or question? Yes, Prabhuji, Prabhuji. इंग्लिश में बोल सकते हैं, इंग्लिश में अगर दिक्कत है तो हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं. Because the Prabhupada is explaining the actually the sannyas order. This life or sannyas life is the topmost life, or in this life, this order is taken up by the people who wants to perfect his life. Actually, this sannyas order is having lot of difficulties. Krishna Prabhupada is talking about that difficulties because there will be no connection with the family, etc. So Prabhupada actually brahmachari life, grihastha life, vanprastha life, all these ashram, there are 4 ashram: brahmachari ashram, grihastha ashram, vanprastha ashram, and sannyas ashram. All these ashrams are designed by the Lord for the different stages in our life. Brahmachari life means student life. Grihastha life means household life, living with family members like wife and children, parents. And Vanprastha life means leaving the life, leaving the family life and going to the one, or going to the Tirth Sthan, pil, to the holy places for associating with the sadhus. That is called Vanprastha life. And fourth life is sannyas life, or renounced order of life. So renounced order is not recommended for each and everyone. It is only for few persons because it is very difficult life because of the standard, because of the standards one has to maintain. But other 3 lives are recommended for each and everyone. Also, Vanprastha life is not recommended for Sudra. But all these 3 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, all 3 varnas are recommended for at least for going for Vanprastha life. And Brahmanas are recommended for, they should take for sannyas life. But Sudra should live the whole life in Grihastha ashram, because for them they cannot tolerate so much difficulties, because Vanprastha life is also very difficult life because one has to leave the family members. So the the goal of human life is to achieve liberation, to achieve the Krishna Prem. That's why Krishna Prabhupada is talking about the highest goal. Because if he doesn't talk about the highest goal, one will not feel inspired to to perform some activities in that way, on that path. So Krishna Prabhupada is talking about the highest goal. Just like we see in the material life, one wants to become a big person, So in that pursuance of that becoming a great person, at least little bit in that path he achieves some standards, but he takes the low low standard. He takes up the low standard, or he makes the low goal, or the lower level of goal. Then the highest goal is not able to, one will not think of achieving the highest goal. So Krishna Prabhupada is talking about the highest goal, that is the perfection of life, achieving the Krishna Prema. So Prabhupada is talking about the highest goal, so that we can think of that goal, and we can at least move on that path to some degree. If not, we become perfect in this life, at least we desired for perfection, and we moved on that path. We made some activities in that way, in that path. So in the next life, again, we will start from there. Whatever is complete, after that we will start. So that is the point. Prabhupada is taking up the highest thing and discussing about the highest thing, highest level of life, highest level of spiritual life. I think so. Maybe some other aspect also. Hare Krishna, Abhishek ji और भव्या. From the last class is there any comment or question? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So what? Perception. Material perception and spiritual perception we talked about. I talked about in that class. So spiritual perception means how my Guru and Krishna wants me to see. So seeing through their eyes, or seeing through the eyes of scriptures, seeing through the teachings of scriptures, that is called spiritual vision or spiritual perception. How Krishna sees that devotee, that person, how Guru sees, how Guru and Krishna wants me to see, that is called spiritual perception. But how I want to see, how my material mind wants to see and sees, that is called material perception. There, in material perception, there is no background or there is no thought of Guru and Krishna and Shastra. But in spiritual perception, we don't see through our material eyes, we see through the eyes of scripture. Shastra Chakshu. You would have heard this word. Shastra Chakshu. What does it mean? Shastra Chakshu means seeing through the teachings coming from Guru, Krishna, and scriptures. That is called spiritual vision. Spiritual vision. When we drink water, how should we see? This water was given by this water has been arranged by the Lord for our nourishment, for our life. If water is not there, food is not there, we cannot survive. So this kind of vision. But a material mind or materialistic person will think, I have earned money by my hard work. I have purchased the food and I am eating. I. Everywhere I. There is no Krishna and Guru and scripture. That is called materialism. But a devotee will see differently. This food has been grown by the Lord. By his representative material energy, they have they have grown this food through the farmers, and Krishna gave me intelligence to work, and that's I am earning money. So by that money I purchased the food and I have offered this food, and after that I am honoring the prasad. I am honoring or accepting or receiving the blessings of the Lord. This is a different vision. So two visions are means one is based on our materialistic mind and another is based on the Guru, Krishna and scriptures. So it's a different thing, because in the materialistic mind, material life, one consciousness is always on his own self. That's why in this world it is called, the phone is also called iPhone. I-ness is everywhere, and spiritual life is all about becoming free from this I-ness. And what is becoming? We want to become free from this I-ness, and we want to be conscious of Krishna or Guru and Krishna and scriptures. So a spiritual practitioner is more focused on what they want. They means Guru, Krishna, and scriptures. Scripture is also representative of scripture means Krishna also. So their thinking process is different, and materialistic uh, people have a different thinking process. So it's just about thinking process, and that thinking is called perception. One perception, spiritual perception will make us more and more purified, more and more spiritualized, and material perception will make us more and more materialistic, egoistic, proud, and miserable. So it is up to us whom we accept in our life, materialistic thoughts or materialistic thinking process or spiritual thinking process. If we accept a spiritual process, thinking process, we will become more and more blissful day by day. And by accepting the material thinking process, we will become miserable day by day. Because the more and more pride will be coming in our consciousness. So it is up to us. It is up to us. So I am asking one question from Abhishek. So please explain the Amrita word. which I explained in the discussion. Hmm. Yeah. Freedom from the dictation of the mind. Yeah, this is a proper word, dictation. Dictation of the mind. Yeah, we material life means working under the order of the mind, material mind. And spiritual life means working or living under the order of Guru and Krishna. That is spiritual life. Spiritual life, material life. So whom we accept, it depends on us. We are miserable, then we are responsible. If we are happy, then Guru Krishna, by the blessings of Guru Krishna, we are happy. And also, I talked about this mm, freedom from the fear of death. So it's kind of third meaning, we can say. Freedom from the dictation of mind, and freedom from the fear of death, which is always there in our mind, in the back of our mind. Unconsciously, we are all fearful of the fear of death. We don't want to die because constitutionally, a soul is supposed to be living eternally. But we are going through the pain of dying. We can become free from this pain even in this life. That is possible by the blessings of Guru and Krishna. That is possible. But we have to surrender fully to become free from this fear. When we become free from this fear of death, Yamaraj will not come. Vishnu Parsad will come to take us back to Godhead. In the Bhagavatam, we can see so many incidents, so many pastimes of devotees of the Lord who who were taken by the Parsad or associates of Vishnu to the spiritual abode or Vaikuntha, like Azamil, Dhruv Maharaj, so many others are there who are coming in the way. So we can become free from this fear, and one who is called free from this, one who is free from this fear, he is called Abhaya. So Prabhupada's name is Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The initial name, his name was Abhay, and when he got initiated, he got the name Abhay Charanarvind. So when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave him initiation, he gave him the name Abhay Charanarvind. He just added Charanarvind. Abhay was the name earlier also. So Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj added the name Charanarvind, and later he got this title Bhakti Vedanta. So that title is also added to his name. So his full name is Abhaya Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. That is his full name. So being Abhay is the goal of life. Okay, thank you. श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता यथारूप की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Thanks for coming. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
suppose